Yes, we are back. And look, in the garden everything is looking rather nice, rather pleasant. It really does look as if spring has arrived. Here we are again. We are back once more, but on a different day. Something very strange is going on, Mr. Duncan. Here we are once more, coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language. You know where it is. I know where it is. I think by now, after 20 years, I think we all know where it is. Of course, it's England.
Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat. Learn together and have fun.
We have fun and chaos. Chaos, everyone. There is chaos happening all around because there is some building work taking place near my house. Also, we have the people who are responsible for the internet connection. We have the lovely Openreach, a company that maintains all of the main communication cables. And at the moment, we are having some cables connected nearby. So there is a lot of stuff going on. Chaos. Do you sometimes find that you are living in chaos? Something can be described as chaotic. Chaotic. A chaotic day. I would describe today as definitely being chaotic. Anyway, we are here. I am with you right now, live from the birthplace of the English language. And for those wondering, hi everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you having a good day? How is your Wednesday? Oh, yes, I know what you're thinking, Mr. Duncan. Something is different. Well, the main difference is that we are together on Wednesday. A couple of reasons why. First of all, a new month. We have a brand new month. April is here, and I always like April because it feels as if spring has arrived. It also feels as if summer is approaching. One of the problems with April is you can get a lot of rain in April. So that can be a big problem. You can get a lot of rainfall during April. Anyway, we are here together, and the other reason why I am here is because today is April Fool's Day. Every year on the 1st of April we have April Fool's Day. It can also be called All Fool's Day. All Fool's Day or April Fool's Day. So the 1st of April is always the same. Lots of people like to play tricks or jokes on each other. However, there is one interesting rule about April Fool's Day. You can only play the jokes until midday. Did you know that? So you can only play April Fool's jokes until midday. After that, if you play the trick or the joke, then the joke is actually on you. You are the one doing something silly because it is too late to actually do it. So what about you? What about in your country? Do you have April Fool's Day? Do you play tricks on each other? Quite often here in the UK, the news or certain companies will try to play an April Fool's joke. And over the years, there have been lots and lots of very interesting April Fool's jokes being pulled. You often pull a joke or pull or play a trick. you do something. We often use the word prank as well. To prank someone is to trick someone into believing something. You prank that person. So there are many ways of describing the thing you do on April Fool's Day. We are here anyway. I am very lucky because no one has tried to play an April Fool's joke on me, and this is definitely not an April Fool's joke. It is real right now. We are as live can be on the live stream. Hello to the live chat. Now I do believe that we have quite a few people watching. It took a while for my live chat to appear. I suppose the big question has to be, who is first on today's live chat? Oh, interesting. Number 1. Numero uno is Beatrice. Congratulations to you. Well done. Beatrice, you are first on today's live chat. In second place, we have Vitas. Hello to you, Vitas. Nice to see you back. Also, we have Palmyra. Hello to you, Palmyra. I hope you're having a good one as well. Today, we are looking at words and phrases connected to an interesting subject, something that we might talk about from time to time. Do you have friends in your life that you are no longer in touch with? Do you have friends, sometimes even family? It is possible to lose touch with people. If you lose touch, it means you stop contacting that person, or there is no communication taking place between you and someone else. Perhaps a person who was important in your life when you were younger. Perhaps you lose touch with them. Sometimes it happens. However, you might also find that certain people would like to get back in touch. So you lose touch with someone, you try to get back in touch with them. You try to contact them in person. You might write them a letter. You might send them an email. You might even try to find out where they live, if they have moved. And sometimes you might find that when a person moves away, you lose touch, you lose contact with them. So it does happen, it can happen, and quite often it will happen. Some people say it is part of life. You meet someone, you share time together as friends or lovers, perhaps family members, distant family members who are not directly connected to your family. You might also lose touch with them. You try to find out where they are. And I suppose the big question is, if it is someone you haven't contacted for a long time, maybe many, many years, the big question probably would be, are they still alive? And I have a personal story that I'm going to share about that, because there is one person who I often think about, but I am afraid to contact them. I do have their number. I was fortunate enough to find their phone number. However, I feel afraid because I knew this person many years ago, and I know now they are much older than me by maybe 15, 20 years older than me. So my fear is if I try to contact them and I find out they are no longer alive, I think I would feel really upset. So I do like to think in my mind that that person is still around and still alive. So I don't want to find out. It's a bit like Schrodinger's cat. It's in the box. And whilst you can't see what is in the box, the cat is both alive and dead. It's a bit like that, really. You're not sure if your friend, who you knew years ago, is still around or not. And sometimes you want to keep it like that, so you don't know the truth. So my lovely friend, who I used to know many years ago, and then we lost touch, and almost every day I think about that person. I don't know why, they just pop in my head. And I always feel as if I want to get in touch with them. But then part of me also doesn't want to get in touch, because I don't want to find out if they are no longer around. So it is a strange thing. Sometimes we do have connections with people, even if they are no longer in our lives. There are many people who I've met over the years that I've lost contact with. But they still remain here in my brain, in my memory. So I'm sure that is just part of life. You meet people, you get to know them, and sometimes they will also leave your life for various reasons. So we are looking at that a little bit later on. Also, we are looking at words and phrases connected to the word kick. You kick something. There are many ways of expressing that. And if we have time, we will also play Guess the Picture idiom. I've had a lot of lovely messages saying, Mr. Duncan, we love the game that you play with the mystery idioms, the picture idioms. So we will do that a little bit later on as well, if we have time. Talking of which, what time is it? It's 2:20 on a Wednesday afternoon, not Sunday. I am here today with a special, extra English addict. Oh, I've noticed that there is someone here on the live chat who we all love, and we all feel pleased when they are here. Of course, it is the one, the only, Luis Mendez. Luis Mendez is here today. Very nice to have you back. Maurizio is here as well. We also have Mr. Wanali. Hello, Mr. Wanali. Hello, Mr. Duncan. It is nice to join your live stream. Hello to Mr. Wanali. I wonder where you are. Oh, Mr. Duncan, I am from Sudan, but now I'm living in the United Arab Emirates. Nice to have you here. Welcome, Mr. Wanali. Also, we have Marcia. Hello, Marcia. Nice to see you here as well. Lovely to have your company today on the live chat. Now, I'm not expecting many people to be here today because, of course, it is the middle of the week. And yes, I do know that lots of people have things that they have to do. April Fool's jokes. Have you been caught by an April Fool's joke? Has anyone ever tricked you into believing something on April Fool's Day? Please let me know if you have on the live chat. Beatrice says, Mr. Duncan, I had one of those bad experiences a few years ago. It was very sad indeed. So I would imagine you are talking about a person you knew, and then you found out they were no longer alive. I think that is what you mean. English with teacher Fernanda. I have lost contact with a lot of people, and I don't know what happened to them. That is a very common situation. I think we all have people who come into our lives and then they go away, they vanish. You lose contact with them. You lose touch with that person. We will be talking about that in a few moments from now. Hello, Javi Valen. Hello to you. It's nice to see you here today. Thank you for joining me on this very unusual day, because it is Wednesday, and I thought it would be nice to do a live stream because it is the 1st of April. Spring has definitely arrived today. A lot of people were asking about the view in my garden that I showed the other day. Well, first of all, this is the view right now. So this is looking out of the window right now into the garden. So this is the garden at the back of my house. However, some people were asking about the view that I showed a few days ago with the beautiful sunrise and also the bird song. So just for you, I will play a little bit of that video right now. So this was a few days ago in the garden. Unlike today, there was sunshine, but today we have no sunshine, unfortunately. So that was the view in the garden a few days ago when the sun was actually shining. It's always nice to see the sun come out. Many people believe that English weather is always dull and raining, but it is possible also to have nice weather here in England. It isn't always raining, although we do often have rain at this time of year. Thank you very much. A lot of people have said how much they enjoy that short video with the sights of nature and also the sounds of nature as well. Thank you very much. It's very nice. Yes, we have a lot of cloud today. Cloud, and it is also a little bit gloomy as well. But that doesn't matter, you see, because we are here together. We are here today, enjoying ourselves, having some fun with the English language, because that is the reason why we are here. A video I filmed a few days ago with cattle and also their offspring as well in the garden. Beautiful sights. English Addict is with you today, Wednesday. I know, it is very unusual to be here on Wednesday, but I am, and I am here. I was talking about April Fool's Day a few moments ago. English with Teacher Fernanda says we don't celebrate the festival of... Oh, it's gone. I was just reading your message then and it vanished off my screen. Innocents' Day, apparently. There is an Innocents' Day where people play tricks on each other in Spain. Unfortunately, just as I started reading it, it vanished from the screen. It does happen sometimes. Sometimes you might post a message and then change your mind. It's perfectly all right. Nice to have you here today. I mentioned a few moments ago a situation where I have lost contact with someone, but now I am trying to get back in touch with them. And this is something that does happen quite often. So I thought we would have a look at this subject because there are many parts to it. You might decide to try and find a person that you've lost contact with. They have disappeared from your life. You might decide to look up an old friend. In this situation, the word or the phrase look up means search for. You are searching for them. You are trying to find them. So you look up an old friend, you try to find some information about them so you can reconnect with them. You can get back in touch with a person who you have lost contact with. Have you ever tried to find or contact a person you lost touch with? I think it does happen quite often. And if you have any situations where it's happened to you, you can let me know. We all lose touch with people as we go through life. I think it is part of life. As I said a few moments ago, you meet people, you get to know them, and then, for whatever reason, you lose contact. And I think quite often, especially with young people, if you are a young person, you will make friends all the time at school or college or university. You will make friends, lots and lots of friends. But of course, as you go through life, everyone has their own situations, their own things that they have to concentrate on. They have to build up their own lives. Each individual person must build up their life. They must create a career for themselves. And all of those things take time and energy. So there are many reasons why we might lose touch with a person. Here is a list of people that you might lose contact with. Friends. Friends will come and they will go. Quite often, new friends will come along. However, I think it might be difficult as you get older to make new friends. Some people believe that. I've heard it said many times. However, I think it is possible to still make new friends as you get older. I think it's possible. I've made new friends, even though I'm getting on. I'm getting older, but I still find that I can connect with new people, especially here. What a great place to be. One of the positive things about the internet is you can meet new people all the time. So we have friends. You might lose touch with a friend, your classmates, people you went to school with. Maybe you lose contact with them. It does happen. It happens a lot, especially as you get older. However, I think in some cultures, and I've always been fascinated by this, in certain cultures people will stay in touch with their classmates until very, very late in life. They will stay in touch. They will stay in contact with their classmates, the people they went to school with. I don't think that happens here. I have to say, in England or across the UK, I don't think in our culture, I don't think we really stay in touch with our classmates, the people we went to school with. We don't. I think quite often we lose touch with them as soon as we leave school. So as soon as you graduate or leave school, I think you lose contact very quickly. But it is fascinating to know that in certain cultures, people stay in touch with their classmates. Also workmates as well, people you are in touch with, your workmates, people you know at work. Although not always. There might be people who you know at work who you don't want to know personally. I think you know what I mean. We have acquaintances. Very interesting word. People you meet generally in life. Acquaintance. Very different from a friend. A friend is close to you. you know them well. Acquaintance is a person you know from a distance. You know their name, you know some of their details, and you might meet them from time to time. But you don't know them well. You are not close to them. Acquaintance. People who you are acquaintances with. Then, of course, we have pen pals. To be honest with you, I don't think this happens anymore. Many years ago, people did have pen pals. They would write letters to each other. They would correspond. To correspond is to write or contact someone through a certain type of communication. And then, of course, we have lovers. Lovers will come and lovers will go, and some of them will live in your memory forever and ever. It is true. A very strange situation. If you are in a relationship with someone and then you lose touch, it is a strange situation indeed. I am trying my best not to cough. I want to cough. I really do. Where is my emergency button? Ah, there it is. Oh, that's better. I had a slight emergency then with my throat because my studio is hot and dry, and so my throat becomes the same as well. So lots of people can lose touch with their friends and relatives, and then you just move on with your life. That's it. You just move on. You might find that you want to get back in touch with that person. You want to get back in touch and reacquaint with them. Now, there is a lovely word. If you reacquaint, it means you get to know a person again. You become familiar with that person again. You reacquaint. You get back in touch. To reacquaint is to get back in touch. You contact them, and hopefully you will continue, or you will be able to continue your friendship. It is hard to get back in touch with someone you have not seen for a long time, to lose touch. However, I think these days, it is easier to find someone you have lost contact with because of the internet. A lot of people will use social media to try and find that person. They will go on to, for example, Facebook. They will use Facebook. They will enter that person's name, and hopefully, if they're lucky, that person will appear on the list, in their search list. Hopefully. Not always. There are many reasons why you might not be able to contact someone through social media. Maybe they hide their name, or they hide their information. Or for women, of course, they might get married, and then their surname will change. So their last name will actually be different, because when you get married in this country, the wife will normally take the husband's family name. So that's another reason why you might lose touch with someone. Even if you use the internet, you might find it very difficult to contact them again. But I do think that social media is something very useful for finding those long lost friends. Something that is long lost is something that you haven't seen, something you haven't had, something you remember from your past. It is long lost. It's not a very happy subject, this. I've just realised. Many people feel awkward or afraid to approach a person they have lost touch with. And I think this is normal. As I mentioned at the start of today's live stream, I think it's normal to feel worried about contacting a person you haven't seen for a long time. Perhaps they don't remember you. This actually happened to me a few years ago. I actually found someone that I used to go to school with many, many years ago. And I found them on Facebook. So I sent them a message and I told them who I was. They had no clue who I was. They had forgotten me. I had faded away from their memory. So it can be embarrassing if you get back in touch with someone and they don't actually remember you. Also, there is the possibility that they don't want to know you. Perhaps that's the reason why you lost touch with them in the first place. Maybe originally they just didn't like you. It happens. It happens in life. Maybe a person just decides that they don't like you anymore, and then many years later they hear from you again. But really, you don't want to hear from them again. In fact, you would rather not hear from them. I don't know what's going on today, but my throat is really being annoying. And I think the reason is because the hay fever season is coming back, which means I will be sneezing and coughing as well. Hay fever. I really do hate my seasonal allergies. The person, as I said, might reject you and they might not wish to know you anymore. Embarrassing. Especially if the situation was romantic. In a romantic situation, you might find that person does not want to know you anymore. Perhaps your relationship was great at first. Maybe everything was lovely. But later on, the relationship breaks up and you go your separate ways. You split up. You part. So years later, you might decide to get back in touch with someone you had a close relationship with. But that other person does not want to know you anymore. They have moved on. If we describe a person as moving on, it means they have changed their life. They have found new things, new people. They have a new person in their life. They don't want to know you anymore. You might try to find that person on the internet or with an old email address. Some people do not keep their email addresses for very long. A lot of people like to change their email addresses. Can I just tell you something? One of my personal email addresses is actually very, very old. In fact, I created it way back in the late 1990s. So I have an email address on Yahoo, and also I have an email address on Hotmail. The Hotmail I've had since the 1990s. So probably I would say I've had that nearly 30 years. So I don't normally change my email addresses. I don't like to do that because then people will lose touch with you. It also confuses me as well because I'm very easily confused, especially when it concerns other people. So what about you? Have you ever tried to find or contact a person you have someone you have lost touch with? Lewis says, sometimes when I'm lying in bed, I wonder whether someone is still around. The worst thing is that I remembered all the actions, even jokes and sentences we exchanged, but I can't remember their names. It is possible to do that. Maybe a person, maybe their character or the way they behaved is still in your mind, but perhaps the name has faded away. So yes, I think that can happen. That can happen. I sometimes have difficulty remembering names of people who I know now because I'm not very good at remembering names. That is the reason why. English teacher Fernanda, I don't think that some people want to be found. I think you're right. That's it. They don't want to be found. They want to stay hidden away. In fact, I would say that most people prefer to stay hidden. They like to remain anonymous in the world. One of my email addresses is Hotmail, and it is also from the 1990s. It is my main address. My main email address. Thank you, Beatrice. It is strange, isn't it? So some of us have email addresses, email accounts that are almost 30 years old. I find that quite amazing, to be honest. So my experience of finding people or looking up or trying to search for a person that I've lost contact with quite often is not successful. Or I might avoid doing it completely. It can happen. We are moving on to another subject in a few moments. I will have a quick break so I can drink some water. A lot of people enjoy watching the cows. Well, guess what? Here are some more very curious cows coming up for you right now. Some lovely cows because, well, let's face it, they are absolutely lovely.
Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat. Learn together and have fun.
Fun time on Wednesday. I know it feels strange. It feels very strange for me to be here on Wednesday. I woke up this morning and I almost forgot that I was doing a live stream today. It almost disappeared from my mind. However, fortunately, I did remember that I am here today and I am here with you right now. We have been playing a very interesting game over the past few weeks. Guess the picture idiom. And I thought today we would do it. We would have maybe one, maybe two mystery picture idioms. And that is what we are going to do right now. Picture idioms. If we have time, I will have maybe one, maybe two. All you have to do is say what you see on the screen. It is coming up in a moment. On the screen, you will see a picture, and the picture represents a certain idiom that we use in the English language. And I know a lot of people like to play this game. So here it is. Here is the first mystery idiom. Are you ready? Here it comes right now. Oh, ooh. That looks rather unpleasant. That does not look pleasant to me. Whatever that is. It is a negative thing, a negative phrase that we use to express an action that causes harm to one's self in a moment of activity of any sort. So generally speaking, an action, something a person does. They do something that causes harm to themselves, but they are trying to do something to someone else or trying to achieve their goal. Unfortunately, the goal will come back and bite them. And that is the expression we are looking at right now on the screen. The picture idiom. It is used quite often in English when a person tries to do something to another person, but they end up doing it to themselves. They actually cause the problem for themselves. It is an interesting phrase that we often use in the English language, and we use it in certain situations, certain moments of time where a person might do that. They might try to do something against another person, but it comes back to them. It causes a problem for them. You might also say a foolish mistake as well, a foolish error, something you do that ends up causing you the problem, an action that comes back to you and normally harms you in a negative way. Thank you, Palmyra, for your guess. Isn't that lovely? Hello to BBE. Hello to you. Where are you watching at the moment? Nice to see you here. Yes, we are live, and yes, it is Wednesday. A lot of people seem to be surprised to find me here today, but yes, we are here together today. Something backfires That's a good one. Thank you, Beatrice, for that. Yes, something you do backfires on you. That is a good one. I will give you the answer in a few seconds from now. If you want to put your suggestion on the screen, you are more than welcome to do so. Here is the answer coming up right now. Oh, yes. You shoot yourself in the foot. Something you try to do to another person, you do it to yourself. You make a foolish mistake or an error. To make a decision or choice that creates a negative outcome for oneself. Something you do that comes back to you in a negative way. And yes, you can also say that something will backfire, to come back in a negative way. To make a decision or choice that creates a negative outcome for oneself. It does happen quite often, where a person tries to do something, perhaps they try to do something to another person, or they make some sort of action and it comes back to them. We will often say a person shoots themselves in the foot. You shoot yourself in the foot. A very interesting phrase. It is one that we use quite often when we make a foolish error or a silly decision. We will have one more and then we will move on. We are going to look at words and phrases connected to kick in a few moments. Here is another one. This is a well-known expression. We use this a lot. We use this a lot in English. Guess the picture idiom. That's all you have to do. Tell me what you see. And this one is actually quite easy. This is an easy one. I'm trying my best to make these easy. I am, honestly. I'm trying my best. It's not always easy to make things easy, because sometimes when you show things or explain things, quite often, at first, it will seem difficult. Very nice to see you here today, wherever you are in the world, watching in the UK. Hello to you. I know that I have a lot of people watching my live streams right here in the UK. Some of them are in England, others are in Scotland, maybe Wales, across this country. So here it is. What is the picture idiom? This is the last one today. This is the final one. Only 2 today. However, I will be back on Sunday and there will be more picture idioms on Sunday. So don't worry about that. But what is it? What is the picture idiom? Something that is hard to find. Something you are searching for that is not easy to discover. You will use this particular phrase. Oh, very interesting. Thank you, English with Fernanda. Also, Palmyra has an answer as well. Maurizio, thank you very much for your guess. So this is a phrase we often use when we are trying to find something. We are searching for something. But we know that particular thing cannot be found. Something that is hard to find. Something that is hard to discover. Something that is hard to find in any situation. The answer is coming up right now as we approach 4 minutes past 3 on a Wednesday? The answer is... a lot of people know this one, I think. A needle in a haystack. It is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Something very small in a place that is large. You might also say it's like trying to find a grain of sand on the beach. You are trying to find a small thing in a big place. We often use the word haystack and also needle as well. A thing that is almost impossible to find. It is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It is like trying to find something small in a large place. We do use this a lot. It is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Yes, it is used quite often in English, and I would imagine also in other languages as well. I think it is a very popular phrase. We will have some more mystery idioms on Sunday. So I am back with you on Sunday. With you live on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. The time is always the same. It is always the same time. 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm back with you. We'll have a quick break and then we are back with another subject. We are going to look at words and phrases connected to kick. English Addict is with you today. I hope you are having a good Wednesday.
Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat. Learn together and have fun.
Moo moo moo, 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 moo 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 moo. Moo 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 moo. I've noticed we've featured a lot of cattle today on the live stream. Isn't that lovely? Little cow. I'm okay, honestly. I'm all right. I'm not losing my mind. Not yet, anyway. English Addict is with you today. That is with me, of course. Mr. Duncan, that's my name. If you would like to meet up with us, by the way, we have a big rendezvous taking place on the 31st of May 2026. You can meet up with myself and also Mr. Steve and lots of English addicts. We are going to have a rendezvous in London. If you would like to join us, that is the date to put in your diary. And if you are watching in the UK, guess what? It should be very easy for you to come and see us. So we will be all meeting up together on Sunday the 31st of May, the big rendezvous in London. And we will also be, I suppose it's a good opportunity to celebrate my 20 years here on YouTube as well. Does that sound like a good idea? I think it is. We have another subject coming up because, of course, this is English Addict. We talk about the English language. Now we are going to look at words and phrases connected to the word kick. It might seem like a simple word. Many words in all languages can seem simple and easy. However, sometimes a small word can have lots and lots of interesting meanings, as we are about to find out. Of course, there are many ways of using the word kick. The basic definition: to create an impact with one's foot. The action of forcing something with one's foot. You can see here, you kick a ball. So in that particular definition, we are looking at the verb kick. You are doing it. You kick something. You kick a ball. You kick the door. You kick the tyre. Quite often on your car, you might test the tyres on your car by kicking them. Mr. Steve often kicks his car for various reasons. So to kick something means to force something, normally with your foot. And of course, there are many ways of expressing it besides that. You might force something open. To force something open or break something with one's foot. So you might kick open a door. For example, you use your foot to kick open a door. To do something with force using your foot. You might kick open a door. You might kick down something using your foot. You might kick over something. To push something over using your foot. You kick something over. You kick open. You kick down. You kick over. You kick in. You kick open a door. You kick down a sandcastle. You kick over a chair. You kick in a window. So in this particular phrase, we are saying that you break the window. You smash the window using your foot. You break something using your foot. To stop doing something. If you stop doing something, we can say that you kick that thing. You stop doing it. So in this sense, we are using it to show that we are stopping something. Maybe you stop doing something as a bad habit or an urge. Now there is an interesting word, the urge. Urge. The feeling, the emotion that overtakes you is an urge. You kick the habit. For example, you might kick tobacco. You stop smoking. You kick the habit. You might kick alcohol. You stop drinking alcohol. You kick vaping. Something very popular nowadays, a lot of people do it, of all ages, vaping. A lot of people believe it is more pleasurable and safer, but it isn't. It is just as harmful to your health. So a lot of people now are trying to kick the habit of vaping. You might try to kick doom scrolling. We've all done it. We all do it. We all wake up in the morning with our phones. We have our phones and we doom scroll using our phones. We look at our phones and we doom scroll. It means we read all the bad news. We read about all the horrible things happening in the world. We doom scroll. Sometimes first thing in the morning a person will doom scroll. They will go through all the news and all the bad, negative stuff happening in the world, and they will keep reading it. Or sometimes at night, before you go to sleep, a person might look at their phone, check their messages, and look at the news. Doom scroll. You can spend a lot of time on your phone looking at things. Quite often, useless things, things that have no purpose. It does happen. You might say that you are going to kick the habit. If you kick the habit, it means you stop doing something. You don't want to do it anymore. You want to change your ways. You want to do something else. To suddenly attack or move aggressively. To move aggressively. Suddenly, you kick out. To move, to fight back, to attack, you might say you kick out. So it doesn't mean that you use your legs or your feet. It just means you are suddenly fighting or becoming violent. You kick out or kick off. He kicked out at me for touching his car. So generally speaking, if a person becomes angry or upset, we can say that they kick out or kick off. A fight might kick off. Two people start fighting with each other. We can say that that fight kicked off. People started fighting with each other. The moment when something begins or starts can also be described as, well, we can use the word kick in the phrase kick off. So to kick off is to start something, the beginning of something. You kick off. That is the start time. That is when something begins. For example, a football match will start at a particular time. We can say the kick-off is at 2 p.m. tomorrow. That is when it starts. That is when the match begins. So in this sense, the kick-off is the start time. The start of something is the kick-off. That is when it begins. So it doesn't have to be connected to sport or football. It can be connected to anything. For example, on Sunday, my live stream will kick off at 2 p.m. UK time. That is when I'm back with you on Sunday. That is when my live stream will begin. Finally, we can use the word kick to express creating a fuss. Maybe you are upset or angry about something. You want to create a fuss. To create a fuss or commotion over something, you kick up a fuss. Here's a good example. He kicked up a fuss over the price of the bill. Maybe you are in a restaurant and you receive the bill or the check and you think it's too expensive. You think, no, this is too much. I'm going to complain about this. I'm going to complain about the amount, the charge for my meal. So if you kick up a fuss, it means you create a fuss or you create a commotion. You cause a problem. You kick up a fuss. So once again, it proves that many words in the English language can have lots and lots of meanings and uses, and it is very common. I will be going in a moment, but as I just mentioned, I will be back on Sunday. My live stream on Sunday will kick off at 2 p.m. UK time. So I hope you will join me then. I will be going in a couple of moments. Thank you for joining me on this special day, a new month, and it is of course April Fool's Day, and I am your April Fool. Thank you for joining me. Thanks a lot for your company. I know it's a strange day to be here because it is the middle of the week, but don't worry because I am back with you on Sunday. 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm back with you on Sunday. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope this live stream has been useful. I really do. A lot of people were talking about vaping. Oh, I see. Yes, interesting. Mr. Duncan, we are talking about vaping. Vaping is like smoking. They are both bad habits. Yes. I think you're right. Thanks, Mr. Duncan, for this lovely live stream. Have a great time today. I'm not sure what I'm doing after today. I'm not sure what I'm doing when this is finished. I would imagine that I'm going to have a cup of tea with Mr. Steve. And we have something special tonight. I did mention a few months ago or a few weeks ago that we have some new neighbours. So our next door neighbours, our new neighbours, are absolutely lovely people. And yesterday they brought round something they had made. They made a delicious curry. So they've brought some of that around to us. So tonight we are going to have some curry that has been cooked by our neighbours. I am definitely going now. I hope you've enjoyed this. And I am back on Sunday. This is Mr. Duncan. That's me, by the way, saying thanks for watching. See you later. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. And I will see you on Sunday. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Enjoy yourself. Please stay safe. Stay happy. And ta-ta for now.
Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat. Learn together and have fun. To say goodbye to Duncan and all the lovely words and phrases of the English language. Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat and discover all the words and phrases of the English language. Learn together and have fun. Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat.